Hey everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming, and we are going to go ahead and continue our adventure here in Wizardry, Tale of the Forsaken Land. Last time, if you remember, we went ahead and made our first trip into the labyrinth after recruiting Keo and Ricardo to our party. We've made it all the way to level 3. Still no party rank. Picking up in town here. First thing we probably should do, hit the item shop. Let's take a walk in. It says customers already inside the shop. There's some commotion going on. Only 10 gold for this shield? You just said this one is magical. Shopkeeper says, oh yeah, it was appraised as being magical, and a darn good shield too. It should be worth at least 1,000. 5,000 firm. Shopkeeper says, don't be such an amateur about it. Continues to say, Rui, you know the rules when it's not appraised beforehand. Always know that anything unappraised is a straight 10 gold. So, there's a word to the wise hidden in the place of some very, very just bold-faced roleplay text. Make sure we get magic items appraised. Rui calls him a con artist, taking advantage of the situation, says just because you're the only one who can appraise and lift curses. Then she says, forget it, sorry for the trouble. She turns her back towards the shopkeeper after waving her hand. This is Rui. She says, oh, you were watching? I'm so embarrassed. He's a really greedy scumbag. What a big difference from his wife, who will make magic stones for free. Okay, so we come to this guy for the items, and his wife makes the magic stones. Got it. If only I knew a bishop. Well, that's going to be us in a few levels. Then I wouldn't have to go through this trouble. Let me just give you a word of advice. You're going to need money to spend at this shop. Okay. Rui sighed and left the shop. Hey, come in, what do you need? Well, first thing we're going to do is appraise some stuff. Keo's still got that axe from before. Let's give that a look. 170 gold. Yeah, let's get it appraised. It's a battle axe. Okay. Who are you going to have hold it? Oh, that would lower his evade and defense. Probably unequip the shield, because I think it's a two-handed weapon. But he's the only one who can equip it, and that's a lot of offense. Now let's give it a shot. Shield will be unequipped. You know what, it's not worth it. We'll probably just sell it. 240 gold for the shield, okay. That's a metal shield. Edges are bordered with metal, well balanced, that even a thief can equip it. Yeah, sure. Let's give it to Keo and have him equip it. Sell the battle axe. 850 gold. That's a nice little profit. As you can tell, items in this game actually buy and sell for quite a bit. Unfortunately, you're not going to get anything but baseline weapons and armor from here until you find other things in the dungeon and sell them. So it becomes more of a repository than a shop. Nice thing is, they do have some healing staves here. There you can see we have a battle axe. Now as for making spells. See, it switched out from the shopkeeper to his wife. Says this must be your first time. We make and separate magic stones here. What can I do for you? Let's go ahead and make material. Which magic stone do you want to make? We can make a hardy stone, which increases evade, sort of like a haste spell, or a teal stone, which does thunder damage, and that does to a row of enemies rather than just one enemy. Yeah, let's make ourselves a teal stone, huh? Make that with 2 frog tongue. That's really the only combination we've got. Could see all of the other combinations there, but it's only that one that we have enough material for. So we'll go ahead and select it. You can see the 2 frog tongues going together, and they become a stone. There is the teal stone. Do we wish to use the magic stone right away? Absolutely. We now have 2 different spells we could cast at level 1. Still want to continue. Oh, we can make another field stone. Awesome. Let's do slime's goo and a broken sword. Sure. And that becomes the field stone. We've already got one in our inventory that we're holding on to until we can become a bishop. That said, Kyo can master it right now, and I think that's an excellent idea. Make sure someone in the party has a healing spell on hand. That about taps us out though, so we're going to go ahead and exit. That's about all we needed there. Let's check in at the bar real quick, see if there's any new quests to do. Relax and have a drink. Let's check out the quest list. Okay, we still haven't completely solved either one of those. So nothing much to do here but head back into town, into the labyrinth. Back in we go. Not going out of my way to fight every little thing. If it passes by me, I'm more than happy to just let it go. Have Kyo open the chest. It's locked, so we could expect a 2 to 3 button puzzle here. Or 5. You know, I said 2 or 3. It was both. And all of that for another transfer potion. So the type of little enemy thing that you see hovering around there will matter a great deal. There you saw it sort of flying around, and that means we're either going to face a fairy or a harpy. So let's go ahead, have Kyo fight the harpy, since he's got 2 strikes at it. Ricardo will go after an orc, and we'll go after an orc in the back row there. Perfect. Kyo hits twice, that's the harpy down. There goes one orc. Another orc escapes, and the one we damaged sticks around. So that worked out pretty much for the best. $126 experience for that. And we get a treasure chest. Inside we grab a bogeybird's claw. Now let's step and see if anything new's here. Nope, just a wooden box. Oh, something was right beside us. Hey, look at that, the exact same enemy group. Well, let's fight it the exact same way. Worked last time, why not? Nice critical there from Ricardo. Okay, that wasn't too bad. And that should be another 126 since that one got away. Already see less than 500 experience for Ricardo to get to level 4. Pick up a broken sword. Okay, this one's a little crawling guy, and that means a lot of slimes. Certainly not gonna waste any spells on these guys. Okay, that's the combat done in 3 easy rounds. Gives us 100 experience. We already knew the slimes weren't going to give us a ton, but it's at least something. Speaking of, here's 4 more. Well, these ones are friendly, so we'll just leave them be. You saw that little green torch light up by Kyo there when we went. That means we did something that was sort of a positive influence for her. This is one of these games where you want to up your allies' trust in you. Wow. Our big tough ninja just missed twice on the simplest enemy in the game. Well, let's see if he redeems himself this time, huh? There we go. And he got hit. Definitely not on his A game this time. Getting a decent amount of gold here, too. Okay. 2 orcs, 2 slimes. Let's get these orcs since they're more likely to run. And we'll just have Agog attack the slime. Fish in a barrel on that one. Two orcs and 2 slimes, but they're friendly, so we will once again let them be. Not the most rewarding decision. If we were a more mean-spirited party, we would absolutely attack them. But that's not what we're after. Instead, we're going to give this door a chance. It says here the Imperial Quarters, and we're in a green room, so we know we're safe from encounter. Get a cutscene though. It says, oh gosh, what should I do? Priestess stood bored in the room. Oh look, it's that girl we met at the lodgings. She says, huh? You're the one. Yeah, she remembers us from the lodge. Here to get a pass? I mean, yeah, okay. We just stopped by, but sure, we're here to obtain a pass, that's what we do. She says, I see, but nobody's here right now. I was pretty sure this is the room to get a pass, but I've been waiting for a while and nobody's shown up. Must be lunchtime. What should I do now? Party members I hired just took their money and ran. That totally sucks. Yes, that does totally suck. Looks like you don't even have a priest with you. How about a deal? If you allow me in the party, I think we'll both benefit from each other. Yeah, I mean, another person to heal, another combatant, sure. Please join our party. Believe that you all seem like really nice people. Okay, we've got a deal, and just like that, we've got our core 4 covered. Says her name is Sarah McDuff. Nice to meet ya. Sarah joined your party. Well, let's take a look at Sarah's inventory. Throwing knife, robe, and healing staff. So let's go ahead. That seems like a good formation. Now we've got all the healing we could ever want at this level. Go ahead and check this place out a bit more. Says there are some books. There's a letter on a wooden box. Since nobody's in that room, we'll just go ahead on. Let's check this one out. One little stone, this one's for Daddy Orc. Two little stone, this one's for Mommy Orc. An orc was playing enthusiastically while playing with various stones. Says Jolly Orc. Huh? Does you wanna play with the stones also? Do you wanna play with the stones? Yeah, sure. Thinks we're nice. Okay. They're making a stone labyrinth. Don't you think it would be neat to see a labyrinth in a labyrinth? Kind of. Oh, by the way, Eyes Gots. Don't forget's my name. Yeah, Gots is going to be playing with the stones, and he's actually going to be building crude traps for us to try out as we go along here. So Gots looks for a stone to give us, and we get a labyrinth stone. Neat. Tells us to take good care of it. In the door we go. Ricardo says, wait up a second. Since this is your first time in the labyrinth, let me tell you, take a look here. He points to the wall ahead. You can see there's a hole in it. Says, you see the cracked wall ahead? It's a strange kind of wall. No matter how many times it gets wrecked, it mends itself. Nobody knows why this happens. It's one of many odd things that occur in this labyrinth. This kind of wall exists everywhere in the labyrinth. Don't worry, it's easy to break. All you have to do is run through. Now, let's go. Then it's going to tell us about running. It says press the circle button and the direction button to run. When running, please note the stamina gauge in the upper right. When stamina is decreased as you run, please be aware that you're not going to be able to run when your stamina runs out. Got it. So, if we walk up to the wall, there's nothing we could do. We could kind of peer through it. That's about it. We investigated, it says it looks fragile. We'll back up, hold in the circle button, run, and lo and behold, we make it through. Let's go through the door. And we find ourselves in a completely new part of the labyrinth. And we find ourselves stopped. More blue text that's shaking. I can't help but figure that this is going to be an orc. Casta came running out as fast as he could. Barfo's here. What a lovely name. Be careful, Barfo's a real meanie. She'll hold a grudge against you even if your eyes just meet. Hey, I ought to kick your ass. It's Virgo, Ms. Virgo. Okay, so clearly Virgo does not appreciate the nickname Casta gave her. She's here! It's Barfo! Wow, those letters are shaking like crazy. Casta ran for cover and hid behind your party. Yeah, Virgo looks a little ticked, not gonna lie. She says, geez, how rude. How dare you talk like that to someone who saved your life? No idea that an overgrown pig like yourself had no manners. I's not a pig, I's Casta. Yeah, we've got that. Oh really, thanks for your useless information. Wow, she's just not nice, is she? Besides, she's never saved my life, Barfo. Geez, what is this world coming to? I wonder, who's the one who saved you at the fountain on the 5th floor? So the orc has made it all the way down to the 5th floor. Was it a god or a goddess? This is kinda ticking Casta off, apparently. So he was falling into a fountain, and she froze the water on him. Huh. So Virgo clearly wants him to come out from behind us. So why don't you just get your green butt out here? Just being as rude as possible here. Casta says, eyes have nothing to talk about. Says, poor thing, you're breathing hard. Now get your toad ass out here before I eat you for breakfast. You know, I'm not gonna lie, the trash talk game is pretty high with Virgo. You really want to piss me off, don't you? Oof. So things have gotten real heavy. Virgo's eyes have a deadly glare, and we are stuck right in the middle of this. Can barely breathe from the tension. Casta says, Says, eyes have no choice. Casta, with his shoulders drooped, tries to step forward. You know what? Normally, I'm all for orcs getting their comeuppance in a fantasy RPG, but Virgo's been kind of beating him from wall to wall here verbally. Let's go ahead and stick up for the guy, huh? Agog's party stood up and faced Virgo to protect Casta. Probably not the smartest thing. Virgo says, how brave of you guys. I guess I should commend your foolish valor. But I am insulted. For you to think that you weaklings can beat me. Chilling breeze signals death in the air. Casta jumps forward. I's appreciate you's feelings, but don't worry about me. Just go seize the Master Swordsman and learn the allied actions. Understand? No fighting? I'm disappointed. But that's a wise choice. There's no need to worry. I'm not gonna kick anybody's butt. I have some business to take care of with his master. I just can't stand him going off to the bottom floor of the labyrinth without telling me. I wouldn't be able to stand it if he were to keep the treasures for himself. Okay. So now we have a little party regroup time. Ricardo says, what a bitch. I think we could all sort of side with him on that. She apparently pisses him off. Keo says, calm down right now. Not even the evil gods will mess with Virgo. So she's got a reputation. We better learn those allied actions that Casta was talking about in order to stand a chance. She's probably headed towards the location of that swordsman. I guess she's heading the same direction we are. Sarah was impressed that we stood up for him, and she would have been disappointed in us otherwise, so at least we scored some, brownie points with our party here. Might have been a little tough for you, but maybe that mindset is needed in a trustworthy leader. Yay, we did the thing. One thing's for certain, we really gotta get these guys leveled up a bit more if we're gonna start picking fights like that. Round this turn here. Got a little side passage. Okay, we've got a fairy and a bunch of orcs. I can't help but think this is a good time to break out one of them their spells. We'll have... You know what? Let's have her attack. She's got a throwing knife equipped. And, yeah, let's go for a teal spell. Front row, and let's see what that does. Fairy gets a spleam spell off first. Hits Keo. Nice, we took out 3 there. Okay, so spleam is sleep. So Keo's out of commission for this battle, but we're down to 1 orc. Feel good about our chances there, and we do in fact pull through. Pick up 140 experience. Okay, we come down into this room, and we bump into a boy who appeared out of nowhere. Boy says, shit, that hurt. The boy, probably a thief, was starting to tear up because the collision was so hard. Bishop says, oh my, how terrible. The goods are all over the place. The girl bishop ignored the boy and stared sadly at the scattered long swords. So no worry about her buddy in the party, just dropped the loot. Young warrior noticed this and started collecting the swords. Yeah, their warrior looks exactly like our warrior. He says, they're okay, no damage done. We'll still be able to deliver them. The warrior grinned at you in response to your puzzled look. Says, we'd rather go on about our business, but that old man Ledois ain't around. We're just killing some time till Pops gets back. We need to deliver these to the shop. That place is low on stock on a bunch of things since the flash. They're even low on basic stuff like long swords. We've heard that everything they sell are things that adventurers have brought in. The reality is everybody keeps all the good stuff for themselves, so all the leftover crap gets brought in. If you've got some spare stuff like weapons and armor, you should go sell them at the shop. Now, I know that sounds like it's kind of pointless to have a weapon shop like that, but again, this is a game where you get different party members throughout, and later on you'll see you're actually able to change your classes quite fluidly at higher levels. So, you could find a magic item you don't need right away, and again, sell it there as a bit of a repository till you need it. Then they'll be displayed at the shop. You'll get some decent money for selling, you know. Yeah, we figured that one out. Bishop says, "Are you done talking now?" Girl Bishop yawned out of boredom. The warrior noticed her and nodded abruptly. Oh, phew. I was about to fall asleep. Wow. Just not the nicest people we're running into today, huh? She says, "I want to go home now." Girl Bishop started walking hurriedly. Warrior says, Hey, come on, let's go." The warrior grabbed the teary-eyed boy and rushed to catch up to the girl bishop. You were ready to leave the area also, which means we're about to not be able to leave. At that instant, you see a sword out of the corner of your eye. The warrior must have forgotten to pick it up. It looks like a long sword. Now for a brief lesson on items. Most items found in the labyrinth have not been appraised. Those items will be displayed as sword and shield with a question mark, etc. We've run into a couple unidentified items. Once you equip these types of items, they will be considered appraised, but misfortune will fall upon a person equipped with a cursed item. Appraisals can be done by a bishop or at the shop. Just as you were thinking of what to do with the sword in hand, the trio came back. Thief says, "Hey, give that back. How dare you rip us off on top of bumping into me?" After taking the sword away from you, the boy handed it to the girl with a big smile. The thief says, "See, I told you I'd find you. There's nothing to worry about as long as you leave it to the men." Well, that's bold talk from somebody who cried about getting bumped into. The girl bishop showed an impartial smile and looked down at the sword. She says, "Darn, this hasn't been appraised yet. We're not going to be able to sell this for a good price." The girl bishop closed her eyes and stared, concentrating. Looks like she's appraising it. Oh gosh, this is a cursed item. If I'd unknowingly equipped myself with this, it would have been. Her big round eyes opened even wider, and she looked at the warrior and boy thief. Oh no. Oh no. Warrior and thief go, "Huh?" She goes, "Why are there zombies here? And what gross looking faces." Well, that's harsh. The warrior and boy looked at each other and then took a step toward the girl. She was trembling in fear and stepped back. "No, get away from me!" And she runs off. And the girl bishop let out a scream and started running. She abandoned the sword that was in her hand. The warrior and boy were confused, but they figured out what had happened and rushed after the girl. So whatever curse was on the sword obviously affected her. The abandoned sword and Agog's party were left behind. That's good to know. Now it's going to tell us about appraising a cursed item. The girl bishop was cursed with fear. A cursed item can be appraised, but when the curse is too strong, the status can become fear. It's not limited to only the appraiser. Other members of the party can be affected as also. If you want to play it safe, get them appraised at the shop. Fear is something you could cure in town. If you remember, there's the Salem Temple. That's where you go if any of your party members fall in battle. but you could also go there and get ailments like fear healed. Pick up the sword hesitantly, you pick up the betraying sword, so that's something we're more than likely just gonna sell in town. Don't really see much of a practical reason to equip a sword literally called the betraying sword to a member of our party. Now we're hearing steps all around us, so the best thing to do is stand against the wall here. That way we know we can't get ambushed from behind. Got a whole bunch of slimes and a fairy. So we'll go ahead and let the spell do the work here. Cast another teal spell, since they're all in a row anyway. And this should take out all of them. Hey, look at that. The fairy survived. So we'll switch to attacks. And figure that someone ought to be able to take out a damaged fairy. Sure enough, Keo does. And that's enough to get Ricardo to the next level. So 714 right now is our goal. That's going to be enough to get Keo to the next level. And by then both Sarah and Agog will have leveled as well. Quick way to do that. Another encounter right in front of us. This time we get a couple of those level 1 thieves and a couple orcs. We'll attack. We'll attack. And both Agog and Sarah will take out the other orc. Okay, that worked out about perfectly. Now we'll have the front line focus on the thief, and back row will focus on the orc. Oh, Ricardo ends up taking out the orc for us, so it didn't come down to throwing knives. Nice chunk of experience there, 120. Okay. So you can see we have a treasure chest there. But before we can collect it, we run into another battle. Let's try and conserve that last spell. So I'm going to have both Keo and Ricardo focus on the pixie, and have Sarah and Agog shoot at the back row orc. Well, we at least got the orc out of the way, and the pixie escaped, which is probably the best news for us in all honesty. Get a critical hit from Keo. Ricardo does much the same. Oh wow, that orc survived 9 damage. Okay, we do get through that battle easily enough. Only 100 experience though, because we didn't get that pixie in time. So we get a chest for the encounter. That gives us a pixie's wing. Then we'll go ahead and pick up this treasure chest. And that'll give us an unidentified charm. So charms are accessories you could wear in addition to armor. Okay, I thought with those weird angles we might have gotten a surprise round, but we weren't that lucky. So instead we'll focus on the rogue and let Sarah and Agog fight the slime. Well, never mind. That rogue takes gets taken down easy and the other runs away. Hey, critical hit for us. That's quality 10 damage from a sorcerer. Good news is we finished the battle. The bad news is, once again, a high experience enemy just up and runs out on us. So only 75 for that. Pick up an unidentified chest plate. So we're going to have a bunch of armor and stuff to appraise when we get back. Pick up this treasure chest here. Say this, it's been a very lucrative run. There's another chest plate. Okay. So those are 3 green squares there. Which means if we step into those 3 spots, we are completely free from combat. This is an unusual formation. We get 3 slimes and 3 kobolds behind them. So we'll have Keo and Ricardo work on the slimes, and have Sarah and Agog just take their shots at the back row of this party. Not so successfully either. Not completely worried about the slime there. In fact, it being there is kind of a benefit to us. Means that kobold can't get up to the front line. Okay, now we'll just have everybody attack the same target, because, yeah, I'm pretty sure Keo was taking that out. Every now and then, when the game rewards you by putting weak enemies up front, you gotta capitalize. 135 to the betterment there, and we are almost there. 284 experience, and we know the party will have all gained a level. So up here are a couple books and a signpost. Let's go ahead and take care of that combat first, so we're not worried about any monsters flying about. Here we've got a pair of harpies and a whole bunch of orcs. So we're going to put each of our fighters on a harpy, and we'll concentrate the casters throwing knives at a back row orc. Well, Ricardo missed a harpy. That's bad news for us. Even more bad news, one orc escapes. Once again, put both fighters here. Let's have Sarah cast. Yeah, let's have her heal Keo since he's getting beat up a little bit. And Agog will chuck a knife at an orc. Okay, Keo's back to full health. Right. $130 experience. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if this finishes off the total. Well, we've got ourselves a bogey cat, which is annoying. Bogey cats are probably the toughest monster you're going to face in the early part of the dungeon here. I could have cast my 3rd spell. Sort of playing fast and loose here. As you can see, we got through, we won, but it wasn't without risk. And we only got 55 experience for that. So we're going to go ahead and have Keo cast his 1 heal. Get himself back up to full. Now coming over to the signpost, it says, "I's writing a new volume. Wannabe author Pepe." So we'll look over here. It says there's a wooden box. Over here is a book. It says The Adventurer's Poem, the Pepe Collection. Now, before we get into Pepe's works, and yes, that's how I'm choosing to pronounce it, these are a series of poems that just sort of go over the basics of what you do in the game. It's kind of a help section, if you will. Maybe on stream Sunday we'll take a look at these, go over them. For now, I'm just going to close the book of poems. Make our way back up here. Oh, there's another battle. Got a humanoid figure, and we lucked out. It's orcs and kobolds. Something really manageable. Once again, leaving that orc in place to freeze the kobold. And just like that, we are through another combat nice and easy. Pick up our 150. That gets everybody leveled. I think that's a good spot to call it for today. Let's open this treasure chest. Get a broken sword. Now we know we have another transfer potion. Yep. Actually, we picked up a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and have Keo use a transfer potion, get us right back to town, rather than chancing any additional hazards since we're low on healing, and go into the lodge, rest up, and get our levels. So we could rest here. Everybody's gonna level. It's gonna cost a bit more because we're up to 4 people in the party. Once again, they see someone who's ready to level up. We have that glow about us. We'll stay. It'll be 200 altogether. Yeah, no problem paying that price. Here we go. Keo to level 4. Now he gets 2 of each spell, so the next time we make a sorcerer spell, it should probably go his way. That way he's got a spell in each to use. More importantly, his attack's up to 17, and his evade and defense are both up to 7. Ricardo, our anchor of our front line, is up to 36 hit points. Sarah, our newly acquired cleric, moves to the 2nd level and is now able to heal things multiple times. We ourselves hit level 4, and we are rewarded with a 4th sorcerer spell slot in the 1st level, and we can cast up to 2 level 2 spells when we get them. You'll see it also gives us a spot available for a priest spell. That doesn't mean we can learn them yet. Since we're a sorcerer specifically, we can't just up and learn a spell. That said, if you look, our wisdom's up to 29 and our faith's up to 25. Our benchmarks for bishop were 23 of each, so all we have to do is hit level 5 and we'll be able to do our class change. That'll reset us to level 1, but that'll give us the class we were looking for anyway. So, next time out, I guess we'll be going for level 5 and seeing how much further we could progress. In the meantime, let's go ahead, head out of here, and save our data. Folks, thank you for joining me for this 3rd installment of Wizardry, Tale of the Forsaken Land. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. We'll see you next time.